Now, one of those who marched past last year and can't be here this year is Nikki Scott. Her husband Lee was killed in 2009 while on duty in Afghanistan with the 2nd Royal Tank Regiment, and she set up the charity Scotty's Little Soldiers for bereaved children.
It's one of those things as an army wife that you always kind of have in the back of your mind. I know it's a bit of a cliche, the knock on the door, but when Lee was in Afghanistan, it kind of took over, that panic of being told, and then it actually did happen. It's quite a surreal moment, to be honest.
And you, having been told, had to tell your son Kai.
Yeah, so Kai was 5 at the time and Brooke was 7 months old. So for Brooke, she, I never really actually told her. I guess she's just grown up knowing. But for Kai at the time, it was, really tough. Probably one of the hardest things I've ever done, to try and tell a 5-year-old that your daddy's now not ever going to come home. It was like the lights went out in his eyes. He withdrew as a little boy, to be honest, and he just wasn't the same Kai anymore.
You saw Kai playing and the lights started to come back into his eyes, into his life.
Yeah, so it was about 9 months after Lee had been killed, and my family persuaded me or nagged me to go on holiday. I just didn't want to go, to be honest, but best thing I could have done, because we went away and, like you said, I saw Kai laughing in the swimming pool with his cousins, and that was when I sort of had a bit of a wake-up call and was like, right, I've got to sort something out. Kai's been so unhappy. And I just started to begin to think, Lee wouldn't be impressed with this. We need to rebuild our lives slowly, and there must be so many bereaved forces kids going through this pain. Like, what can I do to help make sure they have the very best support in place? So that's kind of where the charity came from.
Scotty's Little Soldiers.
Yeah. So it's a bit of a tribute, I guess, personal tribute to Lee, my husband. So he was known in the military, in the army. All his friends called him Scotty, and he used to call Kai his little soldier. So it kind of just went, although we support, we're tri-service, we support children that have lost a parent, whether they served in the Navy, RAF or the Army, and whether that was an accident, illness, suicide or killed in action, but the actual name is a tribute to Lee and Kai's relationship.
And how would you differentiate between Remembrance Day, one day, and the 364 other days of being bereaved?
Yeah, I think for bereaved forces families, I guess remembrance is every day. We never forget and we live with it daily. But for us, Remembrance Day is an extra special day that, where the whole country come together and we feel very supported and we remember as a country, and that's so important for us. Normally, I find Remembrance particularly tough time of year. It brings back a lot of memories for me of like Lee's funeral. Here in the last post, I find really difficult personally, and I know a lot of widows and widowers feel the same. And with Remembrance, it's always coming.
But it's also this extraordinary time, because last year you were marching past the cenotaph.
Yeah, that was such an honour. So we had 18 children, 18 of our members that we took to the parade, and we did the march. And I just didn't know what to expect at first, to be honest. So I was quite nervous and didn't know how the kids would find it either. But the pride that I felt and the kids' faces just with people clapping us, I couldn't have been prouder to be Lee's wife that day, to be honest. It felt really great.
That shared experience is gone this year. What are you doing to get over that void?
It just can't be helped. You've got to do what's safe at the moment. But for us as families, it's like just asking people, please, still, if you can't go to your local service, stand on your doorstep and do your 2-minute silence. I just want to make sure that Remembrance doesn't just go and get forgotten this year, because I think for the kids that are left behind, especially, for them to see people remembering their parent, it's so important.